I had cancer when I was 19 years old. There's nothing in my life that will ever amount to that time in my life. I found out who my dad was 2 years ago. In the same sentence, I found out that he died 10 years prior. And I think one thing as you're transitioning, or if you're watching this and you're going, but I want to get into that telesales. It's okay. Like, you can't go always back and talk, well, this happened and this happened. Like, just move forward. We have a lot of things and beliefs that we've built up inside of ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So hard that the beliefs had me thinking that other people who were doing telesales were doing something wrong. But the reality is, they were just open to learning something new. And to be honest, I wasn't. My biggest problem with getting telesales is that I would always hang on to my blankie. I don't want to be the idiot that just goes, well, watch a video. I needed to learn how to do this. I need, at a high level too. I had to say, dude, screw that blanket, dude. Like, do this. People do it. Create something new. Learn something new. What you did 10 years ago, dude, nobody cares. If you are looking to get back into telesales or get back into the industry via telesales or virtual sales, be open to being a student again.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We have Dom Rogers with us today.
Yes, sir.
Dom, thanks for coming in.
Dude, thanks for having me, man.
So just to give you guys an idea, when did you start selling insurance?
December 2011.
And we, back in the day, would try to win all the trips on sales.
Yep.
I had never been on a plane before, dude. And I was like, I'd never been out of the country. And I was like, I got to win this trip. And anyways, I got to know Dom on one of these trips, and he brought his mom, and I brought my mom.
It was a blast.
And we were like, yo, we're both trying to help our moms.
Yeah.
And we've known each other a long time, man. And proud of you, dude. You've integrity partner.
Thank you.
You're known as one of the best on the phones. Yesterday, you had me dying laughing on the phone. When the guy said, I don't trust you, I'm not giving you my information, and you said, well, the insurance companies don't trust you, so I have to ask you some more questions. I was like, dang.
It worked.
Yeah, that was so funny. But dude, you've been at this thing for how many years now?
This is year 13.
13 years. You've helped a ton of people. I asked you to get on because, first of all, I want to know a little bit more about your background. You look like a pro golfer. You're sponsored by Mutual of Omaha.
Kinda.
Yeah, technically you are. And but you were telling me about your transition from going in home to going to telesales, and you're like, dude, this is way harder. And I'm like, dude, how many people do you think got burnt out on in home that want to go telesales that you could probably tell like what you did? Right. That we can help, you know?
Absolutely, man. And well, thank you. And man, I'm super proud of you and what you've done, and the people you've helped, and your family and your kids and your wife. It's crazy to think that we were sitting in a pool in Dominican Republic, and then like 12 years later,
we're still doing this.
We're still doing it. We have families through this. We, have made crazy different family dynamic changes, and it's great to see, dude. And you've been true and through the whole time. Makes sense.
Thank
and
you,
that's one thing that dude, as a friendship, I can't put it in another place. So the transition, man, from in home to the field, I believe for somebody, like if you started in 2020, 21, that transition, I wouldn't say it would be easy, but you're still new, as in learning your techniques and things like that. If you're watching this and you've been in the industry in the field longer than, I'd say, 3, 4, 5 years plus, we have a lot of things and beliefs that we've built up inside of ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like hard beliefs too. Like so hard that the beliefs like had me thinking that other people who were doing telesales were doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You make sense? And I had that nasty taste of like, no, Don't do that. It must be bad. You can't do that. There's no way that you could sell that much over the phone. That must be fraud. They must be. But the reality is, they were just open to learning something new. And to be honest, Andrew, I wasn't.
Well, it's hard to.
I was like, well, I learned how to sell, and to be honest, I had to start learning new techniques on how to sell. Like the whole call them up until you come over the house. Those days for us are gone. You know, like they're gone. If you're still doing it, more power to you. But as a new agent, I just think with the lead availability, okay, why? Like the lead availability, I was in Hawaii, okay? I was waking up at 4 o'clock. I would sell, okay, from 5 to about 9 a.m., okay, on the East Coast, all right? And then still have the full day with my family in Hawaii, okay? And that's just one example of why limit yourself to your time zone and between the hours of 8 and 8, you know? Like, there's no reason to do that. Now, you have to be open to getting more leads, all right? So that transition, I thought, well, I was spending, $1,000 a week on leads and helping 10 families, 7 to 10 families a week. And you just have, your numbers, book 30, sit down with 15. I'm going to close 6 or 7. It was clockwork. You knew it. In telesales, I hopped in on the same thought process, but doing something different. And man, it was $1,000 to 30 or so appointments set. And then out of those 30, you sit down with, I thought, oh, man, I'll be good. If I just get 50% of them, dude, I'd get 10% of them to show up to an appointment. Okay. And then try to squeeze it out of 5 appointments, and that left a bad taste in my mouth. And that's when I was in the middle of, should I do it? Nah, I'll just go back into the field. Nah, I just don't want. And you play these games with yourself. And I had to decide, Andrew, of like, I'm going to burn the bridges. I'm burning them. Like there's no more run home to the in-home. You know what I mean? Like just like when I went to college, there was no more run home to mommy. Makes sense? It was like, dude, you're gone. You're in North Carolina. Your family's in California. Deal with it. And that's what I had to do 12 years into the industry that I learned that I was just stuck in my ways with. And that's when I started reaching out, dude. Started reaching out to more people. I'd reach out to people about how to build a business. But I wasn't really reaching out to people about how to sell. And it was the limits I was putting on myself, but also the limits I was putting on how much I wanted to learn from others. And in August, or I would say, it started really in July, August, September is when I said, you know what? I'm going to really start learning how to sell again. I'm going to get on these calls with intentions to learn. I'm going to reach out to people like Shadi, Steve Giordano actually came out to the office, sat down with him, and just really wanted to dig in. Easton, I went to Colorado just to like, hey, let me spend a couple days with Easton to see, like,
Did
how.
Did he make you get in the cold plunge at 3:45 a.m.?
You know what he did? We went on a hike, okay? And this hike was called an incline. I was like, dude, is this like a mountain? He goes, it's an incline. I was like, the hell is that? You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was like, no, incline means the whole thing is up. And it was insane. My lungs felt like they were going to burn. And but Easton crushed it. Dude had like boots on, just, I was like, damn, dude, like, I'll see you at the bottom. I'm turning around. I think it was horrible. But getting around people with the intention to learn a new skill. Yeah. And that was humbling for me. Very, very humbling. And what I learned through that was that everybody I was talking to, there was so much structure in their telesales presentations. Like no deviating from it. And I felt in the in-home, I know in the in-home, there was a lot of option plays to run. You
could get some sympathy buys too.
100%.
Like they're like, you seem like a sweet kid.
Correct.
Whatever.
Yeah, like, oh, you're nice. Makes sense.
You want some cookies.
Yeah, you're skinny. You need some food. I knew if they fed me, dude, it was a close, right? But dude, they can't feed you over the phone. They don't know anything about you. I wasn't the guy in the field either. I never wore a
lanyard.
A lanyard. I thought that was weird. I was like, dude, I called you. I'm at your house. What the hell do I need a lanyard with my license on it for? I never felt that was going to help me sell. I just thought it would make me look weird. So when I got to Telesales, when they were like, oh, send them your ID and do all that type of stuff, I was like, no, I don't do that. Worst move ever. Okay? Worst move ever. So one, I'm not following the script. All right. Two, I'm hearing people say this is what you do, and I'm still not doing it. And then at the end of the week, I'm wondering, like, where are my sales at? Like, what happened? Like, this thing sucks. And then that's the game that you start playing with yourself to go, I'm just going to go back in the home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just had to say, I'm not really following what folks are doing.
I got to tell you this real quick.
Yeah.
So I ran a few appointments. One, the no-show rate was way higher than I thought.
Yeah.
But craziest thing, dude. So I drove all over the freaking world to run appointments. Yeah. Hours of drive time every week, which I listen to a lot of podcasts and trainings and stuff, which I think helped me
correct
in the long run because it was so much of it. Like I didn't listen to music. I just listened to that. But so I'm trying to figure out telesales, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try getting on Zoom with them because it'd be more like face to face, you know? Mm-hmm. Well, I get on Zoom with this dude, and it's like, he's like definitely a hoarder. Like in the background, there's like stuff piled up to the ceiling. And I've been to some appointments like that, you know? And he's like, look, dude, I filled it out because I'm trying to cancel my life insurance policy that I have now because I lost my job. I have no money. I got a divorce. There's no reason for me to have it. I'm not trying to buy anything. I'm trying to cancel the one I bought like 10 years ago. And I was thinking, okay, no worries, man. Like 3 minutes. But I was like, dude, that only took 3 minutes opposed to driving there, going and seeing them, and then getting told that, and then coming home or whatever it is. And then I was like, dude, I mean, getting no-showed on the phone sucked, but what about getting no-showed when you drive to their house?
Dude, it's the stack the deck in your favor, you know? Yeah. Because if you don't, it's like, say you schedule your telesales day, right? Or virtual, however you do it. You set it up, you got 6 appointments. Buckle up.
Because you're getting beat down.
You're going to sit down with 1, maybe 2, okay? Because it's not 50% when you have less than what you should have. It's actually, it gets lower. You know, people's like, I thought it was a 50% show ratio. Not when you have 6. When you have 6, you may get 0 or 1. You have 30, you may get 15, you know? So you got to stack it in your favor. You got to book these appointments. I'd book them every 30 minutes, 15 minutes. If you double book them. All right, I know a lot of people who do that. But it's using your time though. So like you speak to the point of like getting no-showed. On those days to where you may have 10 appointments and you get no-showed and the next appointment may not be for an hour. Mm-hmm. What do you do? And this was my fault. Like I had to recognize like, dude, you're not using your time wisely. If you get no-showed, you know what you need to do? Grab your stack of leads and start one call closing. And I promise you, Drew, when I started identifying like, oh, here's the idle time that I'm like on Instagram, or I just call an agent, or I'm looking on NLG's pending sheet. Like, what am I doing? Does that make sense? Like, let's like call, like, don't be so above just making calls. Mm-hmm. And I got in this mode of, I run appointments, right? I got appointments. It's like, dude, if they no-show, you pick up the phone and start one call closing. Get you some instant with beneficiary leads. Get you some ethos leads. Get you some of those quick hitters that are designed for one call closes. Mm-hmm. And if you're running IULs and you get no-showed, you're going to be twiddling your thumb if you don't have other lead sources. So I always, even though I'm IUL, say focused, but it's really what gets my brain working, and it's what I'm working towards.
You like IULs.
Yeah. It's like, but I know that there's going to be idle time. And you need to be making calls because if you, prime example, right? And it's like, as telesales, we have to value our time more. I had a guy no-showed me. It was like 11 o'clock appointment. No-showed. And then I just started calling instance, got a guy on the phone. okay, and was going through a presentation, was closing him. During about 10 minutes into the new presentation, the one call, the appointment texts me, hey, I'm sorry, I'm ready now. Okay. IUL, appointment that was no-showed, and I'm sitting with Tom with a $38 a month final expense policy. Okay. In that moment, when I got that text, I had a decision to make. Like,
can you call Tom back?
Correct. You know what I mean? Can I call Tom back that I'm on the phone? Or do I stay with the client I'm with, right? Because he no-showed me 15 minutes ago, right? I was there. And I started to say, you know what? I have to respect my time and do what's right for me and do with the client that I'm with, okay? I handle him, call this guy back, okay? Next thing you know, we go through, dude's not even serious about moving forward.
Whoa.
At all. At all. But I know if that was...
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yeah.
I was like, are you going to say you just dumped the dude because it was only $38?
No, dude. It was just more of just making sure you're using your time and not making it about how much it is. You know what I mean? Or, hey, well, I got this IUL. Let me dump this one and get back to him, and then I can handle this one because this one's probably going to... Don't do that. It's like when you're running appointments. I remember Sean used to always tell me, he goes, dude, it don't matter if it's mortgage, final expense. Dude, when you show up, dude, treat them all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Don't love the one you're with. And in that time, I could have been like, well, let me wait. Let me give him some time. Maybe he'll call me back. And that's what I typically was doing. Was they get no-showed, I text them, all right, let me wait 10, 15 minutes, see if they call me back. Because I don't want to be on another call, and then they call me up. Value your time. And I promise you other people will start valuing yours. And that guy, he waited another 45 minutes, got on the phone, and realized, dude, it wasn't even for him.
Check this out. So I wrote this down March 26, 2022. I must have read it somewhere, but it was a note for me. I put, audit your time and money, okay? And I put, by the end of our lives, each of us spend an average of 33 years in bed. 7 of those years just trying to sleep, okay? I got these stats somewhere. If you're a woman, you'll spend 136 days getting ready. That sounds like way too less. Like,
yeah, I'm about to say, Erica, way more than that.
Yeah. A man, you'll spend 46 days getting ready. 11 years of your life on average is on social media.
Oof.
Yo.
11 years?
But I guess if you live to the average age.
Jeez.
And then if you want to verify that, look at your screen time. So I started looking at my screen time. So I deleted social media for a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna read instead of social media. And then I downloaded chess.com. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I started battling these bots on chess.com for, dude, hours, and they started talking crap to me. And this bot named Isabel, I couldn't beat her. She's like roasting me the whole time we're playing. I'm mad like it's a person. Then Nicole started getting mad at me. She's like, "You're playing chess again?" And then, dude, and then I'm like, you're mad at me for playing chess? Like I'm not on social media. I'm playing chess with some bot named Isabel. Well, dude, I told this agent Ben in here, I was like, "Yo, download chess.com and challenge me." Well, he ended up getting into a bot war. And then he came in here, he's like, "Yo, my girl's so pissed off at me." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I'm playing chess." But anyways, that's just a funny story. But I'm like, dude, I played Isabel like 100 times. And then I finally beat her. I was like, I got to delete this thing for a little bit. But the point was, these are just estimates. It says your iPhone will show you how long you're using different things. And then it says, or I wrote down, what are your big expenditures this month? Are you tracking where your money's going? Because a lot of people, they could get big commissions and it's just gone and no one even really knows where it goes.
Right.
Like, are you tracking that? And then are you tracking your time? And then are you listing what's important to you and then making sure that those things go in your schedule first? So you're talking about valuing your time,
yeah,
but also audit your time.
Correct.
And be like, dude, my day, I can not do certain things and do more of certain things. I wonder what the true, like, actual work hours are with social media and phones being distractions. Like, it's not hour for hour.
No, absolutely not.
There's no way, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, do you double book? Like, if you're calling, do you double book people?
You know what, man? I haven't. I put them 15 minutes apart, and I will call the one early. You know what I mean? After hearing Shadi today,
what he
said, and I was like, "That's so right." We have the system set up for people to confirm and things.
Yeah,
I still call people if they don't confirm.
Let's break that down, though.
Yeah. So what he talked about was triple booking. Okay.
So if I got a 9 open, I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna triple book it.
Yep. And put them all at 9, and then they're all in workflows. So if you're watching this, you probably have some type of CRM that you're using, and they're going to get text. All right, so when they book the appointment, they get a text probably the day before and the day of to confirm. Shadi says if they don't confirm, they move down the list. So if there's 3 appointments at 9, 2 confirm and 1 doesn't, the one that doesn't goes last. And then I guess he just picks which one. But if there's only 1, and typically there's probably only 1 out of 3 that confirm. That's what I. There's.
So you could call them all, but you're just ranking them.
Correct.
Who to call first.
Correct. And that kind of reminds me of
what we used to do.
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of what you used to do. You used to be like, yeah, I kind of rank my appointments of, is this I think yours was 1 to 10, right?
1 to 4.
1 to 4. Yeah, and it
like
was
a 4 was like this person
solid.
was in.
Yeah.
And then like a 1 was like the guy's like, well, I don't know, like my wife might be home, but maybe not. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be down the street anyways.
Right.
I'm already gonna be there. I'm gonna book them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you had that based on your phone call.
Yeah.
Right. He's doing it based on their interactions with the workflow.
Yeah.
And that is, and and then what I also like that I picked up from him that I'm going to implement is after they schedule the appointment, he has a personalized video of himself. Hey, this is Shadi. I'll be your IUL specialist. We're going to meet tomorrow. I need you to make sure you have Zoom downloaded on your phone. Make sure your audio and everything's figured out, and everything that they're going to need. Basically giving them every out
they already know
to go, you know what? Nah. And he's setting it up to where I'm not just an information giver.
Oh, he don't play.
You know what I mean? I'm not here to educate you on IULs. I'm here to help you with IULs. And that kind of makes me think back to when I first started learning these IULs and said, you know what, I'm going to start presenting them and helping people out with them. Dude, I would overtalk so much because it's stuff that I just learned. And I remember Sean Mike said, he goes, dude, people over-explain when they don't understand. Damn, dude, you're so right, dude, because I don't really understand the IUL, so I'm over-explaining it, and I'm leaving people going, I want to think about it. Or that's a lot of information to digest. Let me get back to you. So my first 60 days, dude, I was like upside down with lead spin and what was getting issued. Just be real. Makes sense? It was just like, yo, what's happening? I'm running all these, and I'm just information giver. And I had to start doing less is more. And that's where scripts started coming in, dude. Because I wasn't really using a script.
Yeah, so we did this lock-in, and we had, 30 agents here booking appointments, selling the last few days. You had a bunch of scripts in front of you.
Yeah.
And like you weren't playing, like you were reading them when you were talking to people.
100%. 100%. And I had to humble myself. I had to. Because I was just so used to being on the cuff and just, thinking of stuff. Like, oh, I didn't fill it out. Okay, I didn't fill it out. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night. That type of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's not a telesale. That's not what you do. That's not what we're doing. We're not trying to maneuver people to get in front of them. We're actually trying to have a solid presentation. And I imagine, like, if I was in the home and I set up and I was in the home kind of doing what I was doing over the, on the phone, I was like, that would never work. And like, I needed to slow down and read something that gave me structure, that let them know who I was, what it was about, what was going to happen.
Do you remember back in the day? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I cut you off.
No, you're good.
Do you remember back in the day the ATM thing?
Yeah.
I almost want to reinvent that now.
For a telesale.
Yes. Because when I was doing it, I'm like, man, if I just told them because I was telling everybody, I feel like Billy Madison going back to school. Like, because I'm just getting beat up on the phones on telesales. And I'm like, dude, if I had that structured. So one thing I learned is I send them a screenshot of me, a picture, my license, my NPN number, the carriers I represent, and it says like mortgage protection, final expense, or IUL specialist or whatever.
Right.
Do you do that?
Yes.
Okay. That was big, like just right off the bat.
Quick too.
Yeah.
Like, see, this is, clients will sometimes try to, and not on purpose, they'll just try to direct it a little bit. They'll try to speed you up. Okay. And what I found is I was letting clients speed me up on the phone. And I would skip over. Like, I would be about to start the app and then go, oh, hold on, let me get you over my licensing stuff. Or it would be after they gave me some sort of ambivalence that I'd be like, oh, shoot, dude, I didn't send them over my license. And that's why in the script, the second paragraph of probably every script people have says, here, do you have, is this a cell phone, right? Can I text you over this information? It's my fiduciary responsibility to let you know who I am.
Who you're talking to.
Yeah, who you're talking to, because I'm going to ask you a lot of personal information today on the phone, and I need you to know who you're talking to.
Dude, that's so good.
Dude, that changed the whole dynamic of the appointment.
Dude, huge. I noticed that too.
Like,
and then
it's crazy.
But the other thing is, like, if the ATM, for those of you who aren't watching, it was like a presentation that you would make, and it would show your family and you, and it would be like, I started selling life insurance 2 years ago because of these reasons, and this is what I did before, and this is why I got into it. So, like, I could be like, yo, this is a picture of my mom. She was a widow. This is why I got into this. This is a picture of my family that I'm providing for. My job is to find something that's affordable, fits your needs, fits your budget, and then we're going to see if you can qualify. But I'm like, dude, how powerful would that be? And I don't know if people are doing Zoom or just telesales, but you can do it either way, but it could kind of flow.
100%. I think if you're on Zoom, I think a lot of people who do Zoom, they're doing like PowerPoints.
Yeah, just throw that in there.
Heck yeah. And then over the phone, dude, it's really about, you gotta stop them too, like, and make sure, you know how many times you send it over, like you shoot them a text, right, and we don't confirm that they actually looked at it, that they actually opened it, scrolled through it. Like, take your time at that part. It's gonna be uncomfortable because they're gonna want to be like, they're gonna want to move, like they want to move, right? And they're like, oh yeah, I got it. Okay, did you open it? Especially older clients too, because they're kind of technology, like, I'm on the phone. I don't know how to check my text while I'm on the phone. It's okay. Slow down and walk them through it. Like, when you get in a hurry to start selling, it almost freaks them out when you let them lead it and you follow them. Like, they're almost like, this is weird. Why is he following me when I say something? You know what I mean? Versus, hey, Andrew, did that text come through? Yeah. Can you take a look at it and open it? Like right now? Yeah, right now. Okay. You got it? Nah, it's not letting me click on it. Okay, I think it's because you haven't saved my name in your phone. So save my name, Dom the insurance guy, and then it's gonna let you click on it so you can go into Safari if you got an iPhone. If they got an Android and you're trying to shoot over a link, right? Because I have a producer link. Shoot them a link. Androids, sometimes they don't receive the link. You can text them your name, but they won't receive a link. So it kind of lets you go the extra mile. Oh, you ain't got it yet? I know they ain't got it. You ain't got it yet? No. All right, let me confirm your email real quick, Andrew. Is it andrew4@aol.com? Yeah, that's it. All right, I'm going to shoot it over there right now. You got access to your email?
How'd you know I still have an AOL?
Because it still
email.
pops on. You're the only person I know with AOL. So it goes, and it's like just taking that time for them to know, because the reason people don't move, especially on telesales, is they feel like whatever a scam is, they just don't want to get lied to. But they don't want, but when you slow down at a part to where you're basically saying, here's me. No, I need you to see me. Like, I need you to. It really sells what you're doing for them. And it sells that they ain't really got nothing to hide. Why would somebody like force me to look at their picture, force me to open it up, go to my email? and then try to get over on me. Versus the same person, you shoot them the text and never confirm that they got it. And then you wonder why you're not closing. And that's what I was doing. So I started off, I was like, I go from not asking them, right? Because I'm too good to, like, I don't need to tell them that. They know who I am. To, I send it, but I don't confirm it. To sending it and confirming it, just now your presentations go through the roof, your closes, you don't really have the rebuttals. And when the guy goes, I don't want to give you my social, it gives you the right to go, seriously, dude? Come on, man. You got my license info. You got a picture. You said I look like Kobe Bryant and everything. Really? Really, I'm going to? Come on. Yeah, I guess you're right, Dom. Now I'm on a Dom basis. Makes sense because you hammered in on who I am and what we're going to do today.
Yeah.
You know? So.
That's so good, dude. So if someone's watching this and you're not doing that, send them over something that shows who you are.
Yes.
And then slow down. Don't rush. So something that I had to do in the home, because a lot of times we talked about our personality traits in there because we took the DISC test. I know what yours was.
What?
High D for sure. So
I was a DI.
Yeah, DI. So we were talking about like how a lot of people's are high D, but mine was not.
Yeah.
And what was mine? SC, I think. Yeah, SC. But basically, like, I'm not gonna dominate the conversation with people, right?
Right.
So I had to learn how to get people to like respect me, because like I would roll in and people would be watching TV,
right?
And I finally learned this line that I would throw at people, and this could be used on the phone too. I'd be like, "Hey, Dom, this is real important because like, if you die, this is what your family's going to use to survive. So I don't want to rush it because I'd be doing you a disservice. So I just need you and Erica to pay attention just for 15 minutes so we can make sure you don't miss nothing."
Huge.
Dude, and it's respectful.
Yeah.
You're not, it's just, and I've never had anyone go, no.
Dude, it centers them.
Dude, it's money.
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah, but so on the phone, like, well, I gotta go close some more deals, but I'm gonna use that like to just bring them back. But what you're talking about, slowing down and not letting them rush you, like you can't let them rush you if it's that important for them.
Right.
And when you look at it like that, then they look at it like that. You know?
Right. And there's different moments. Like the rush thing could be with you get on the phone, IUL, right? Yeah. How explain to me how that works. You know what I mean? How's that thing work? And then you gotta slow down. And what I used to do was show me how that thing works and kind of get into it.
Yeah.
Versus like I use Calvin script. All right. It's so to the point. You know, he opens it up with, "Hey, this is Dom. I'm calling about your IUL. That you requested. Were you more interested in the tax-free retirement, the cash accumulation, or the overall insurance protection?" His opening is a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
And they have to answer it. Oh yeah. I was more interested in the cash value.
That's
all right, cool.
Money.
And then get into it. And then it's my information. So but the structure with these scripts, they allow you to stay in line. It's kind of like the financial inventory. It's like you can maybe sometimes ask all the right questions, but come on, dude, you're not going to do it. It's kind of like if you're like in recruiting, right? The reason we have the overview video and stuff is because nobody's that good to give the overview video every time the same way, the best. You're going to forget some stuff. You're going to omit some stuff. You're going to, you're going to talk too much about something that doesn't matter. It's like, just have it set up to where you're on repeat. And I look at true sales positions. Dude, they all have a way that they do things, like to the T. And I think with this telesales, you're in that. I think you have to be militant with, this is what I do and don't fold. One-leggers. One-leggers. You better stand on it. Anybody watching this right now, don't do it. Don't do it. My 8:30 this morning. Cool dude. Right? I said, "Hey, is this for both of you guys?" Yeah. Who's the breadwinner? My wife is. She's not with you? Nope. Well, I'm sure you're going to need her to make decisions. Nah, it's all good. I go, dude, that sounds good, but we ain't doing that. All right. And he goes, yeah, you're right. I was like, all right, dude, because like I got to explain to your wife and explain it to you. And if you explain it to your wife, she's out of town. That ain't going to work out, man. When she get back in town? She'll be back on Friday. Cool. You want to do Friday same time?
Money.
Yeah, let's do Friday same time. Sweet. And then I build rapport with them. Like typically I do that hang up. I was like, nah, my no-show rate's way too freaking high, dude. I got him on the phone. He's listening. Let's shoot the shit. Makes sense? Hey, what part of California you in? I'm over here. All right, man, sweet, dude. Where you? I see your 757 area code. You from Virginia? Yeah. You know Virginia area code? Yeah, man. I went to school in North Carolina. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're building a little rapport. So next time when he tells his wife he has an appointment or something, it's not just insurance guy called us up and we got an appointment on Friday. No, it's insurance guy called us up. Cool dude. Went to NC State. Yeah, whatever, dude. Like use some of that time and don't be pissed off that you didn't get the presentation. That it's a one-legger. Use it. You know what I mean? And that's just, I had to learn that, dude, because I would be pissed. I'd be like, screw it, whatever. You know what I mean? Versus, nah, I got one on the line. Let me reschedule and build some rapport. You know?
Yeah, that's huge, man.
Yeah.
So you're liking the transition?
I'm liking it, dude. I'm liking it. I'm transitioned. It's not even a transition anymore.
You're done.
I'm transitioned. It's, I'm here. It's been, it's a lot, man. And you're in control. You know, you're in control. And the feeling that you get, you mentioned like taking pictures with your clients and things like that.
Which I loved always
Man,
doing.
I love it. I still, like with these telesales, if they got an iPhone, dude, I'm finishing the phone call, FaceTiming them. So I'm doing the whole thing over the phone. Makes sense. And if it's IUL, we're on Zoom, it's already there. We're good. I'm taking a picture of the screen. But any one call close, any general life insurance mortgage protection, dude, we're going to hop on Zoom, the iPhone at the end. I'll take a screenshot, right? Send it to them so that they know what's up. So I'm the same guy who you got the picture of is the same person. Makes sense? Because I could have shot him anybody's license and whatever, right? But when you match those two things up, it's just solidifying the sale, man. And in the home, those pictures worked. Okay, and it works to take a picture with them, save it in their phone. Can't do all that virtual now, so you do something a little bit different now and send it to them and things like that. And I get their beneficiaries now. I got this from it was last couple weeks ago. Somebody said they get all their beneficiaries, and then they call them even contingents. They always add contingents.
Yeah,
I've started to always add contingents. I used to kind of skip over it. And now it's like, why? That's another person that I can call and generate a lead from.
Yeah. Well, when Legacy Safeguard gets officially the word gets out on it, bro, that's a referral machine.
Right.
Like that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
But it's giving them something for free, which is Legacy Safeguard, which will take care of help them plan their funeral expenses. It helps them do a will. It does a bunch of cool stuff.
Nice.
But it's sick. I got a question for you, though.
Yes, sir.
What's been your lowest point in this business? Like, have you had, you almost were out of business? Have you had seasons where it wasn't fun for you anymore? Like, what's that been?
You know, man, there's been so many seasons, you know what I mean, of whatever low is, you know. But what I can say about the lows is they've always built me up. Like, there's been some horror stories in my career that I don't wish upon nobody. You know what I mean? But I know without those things, I'm not the dad I am today.
Damn.
I'm not the teammate that I am today. I'm not the mentee that I am today, or mentor, whatever end of that. Like, I know you go through stuff for a reason. So I never really, we don't have these negative conversations. That's why I like you, is because like we can just stay positive and keep it pushing, even if there are things falling around us. It's
me and Easton were talking yesterday. We were like, because like someone had rolled a bunch of debt to him, and he's like, isn't it crazy that I just take it on the chin like that? And I was like, bro, we all take it on the chin. And he's like, And I'm like, isn't that crazy that we're so conditioned to just keep going when something bad happens? And he goes, you got to get your reps in to get to this point.
You have to. You have to. You have to. And you just have to. So I've had some spots. I've had some times, man. But a lot of those times, man, Sean said this to me before, and it will always stick with me. He said, everywhere you go, there you are.
That's true.
I had to let that sink in. You know what I mean? And when everything around you is doing X, Y, or Z, you got to take a step back
and say, I'm there.
And I'm the common factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean boo-hoo me or anything. It's just like recognizing that if you have a problem, you are the solution. And
damn,
it's just and that burn of like, I don't want to be here again. I don't ever want it, but dude, when you have it, it's like, oh, I know what I can do with this, and I know what I'm better than this.
Yeah, in Think and Grow Rich, there's something I read in there that said for every problem you have, as bad as it possibly can be, there's an opportunity for something just as good as that, but you have to find it. So basically, think about as bad as something is. Within that situation, there's a opportunity for something equal or greater on the other side being good. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're talking about. Like, maybe I had some low points, but I just got better from them.
Yes. And never stay down, dude. Barbara on stage talked about this. And she goes, the common thing between successful people is just how fast they get up. Everybody gets knocked down, dude.
Well, we've been doing that poll, dude, which I didn't believe today when I said how many people in here have something bothering them.
Yeah.
Like 4 people raised their hand. Yeah. And I'm like,
yeah.
On Zoom, when you can't see anybody's faces and you just put
100% of hands go up.
Drop an emoji if you're going through something that's bothering you. It could be financial. It could be something that's worrying you. Dude, it's 100 out of 100, like 100%.
Yeah.
But point is, dude, and this is what I had to learn too. Tell me if you had to do this. So like, let's say something is bothering me, which in life generally, probably someone always can find something if they focus on it, right?
Right.
But I was trained to be like, yo, when I walk in the door at the office, I have to leave all that stuff outside and come in and just focus on what I can control. And just that simple thing of thinking that helped me so much. Like, dude, I would imagine like leaving all this crap outside and then coming in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And knowing like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't mean people don't care about you and things like that, but when you really take a step back, it's like, I had cancer. I had cancer when I was 19 years old. Okay. And during that time, I had a lot of love and support from my teammates, from my family. And I start to think like, there's nothing in my life that will ever amount to that time in my life. Ever. I've done business things and things like that. People are like, yo, that's terrible. I was like, yeah, try having cancer. Like, I'm not saying like, that's like, I'm being facetious, but it's like, you just get to a spot and I'll roll into this, dude. Like, I've had way more personal life things than business. Like my personal life. And I think a lot of us, when you say, hey, put your hands up if you're going through some stuff, a lot of folks just don't want to admit it, dude. They just don't want to say like, dude, I'm kind of like, things aren't that great. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm not feeling too great. Me and my mom's relationship right now isn't the best.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're like, why? Well, some things happen, man. Like, dude, I found out who my dad was 2 years ago. In the same sentence, I found out that he died 10 years prior.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And like having to deal with that. Yeah. I remember that call that I made. I called Sean. Cause I remember I was remember we had those meetings up, we did the, opportunity meetings. Mm-hmm. Okay. First one, we set them off about a year and a half ago. I had one in San Diego. That day, I found that out. And I was driving to the opportunity meeting. And I was like, dude, I don't want to be doing this. Like straight up, dude. I was like, I don't want to do this. And then I called Sean and I let him know. I was like, hey, dude, yeah, man, I'm not feeling too good. And I just found out who my dad was and finally died in the same breath. And driving to San Diego to do this opportunity meeting. And, and Sean's just like, man, I'm sorry to hear that. And didn't say anything about the meeting. You know what I mean? Like, didn't say anything about the meeting. But after our conversation, I realized that, like, if this is what I'm going through, there's somebody coming to this meeting right now going through it too. And I need to pack my shit up, put it in my back pocket, and go to this meeting and give it all I got.
Yeah.
Dude, there was 4 people who showed up to that meeting. All right? And I tell you what, those 4 people helped me way more than I helped them. So in these moments in your life, sometimes business is the thing that helps you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just think that when things happen in business, man, it's almost like to counterset the shit that's happening in your life. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually a good point.
You know? So it just happens like that sometimes, man.
Yeah, I like that, man. Now, sorry to hear about your dad, by the way.
Nah, dude, it makes us who we are, dude, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. What's the best, like, highest point that you've had? Like, have you had this, like, moment of, like, man, I'm helping my mom, like, what
2020.
is that? Dude, that's my year too, man.
Yeah, 2020 was like NBA jams, and I had a cheat code.
Same.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It was like I was just, and it's like I had all the power moves and stuff like that, dude. It was, there was a multitude of things. You had COVID. You had, for me, it was me getting back into the field. It was a resurgence. You know what I mean? It was like wow, you got your sword back. Makes sense. I was fighting with a slingshot for some years, and it was nice to get the weapon. And in 2020, I was like, dude, I'm not gonna waste this weapon. And to be honest with you, Andrew, this year, I used the weapon to get somewhere, and I didn't keep using the weapon. And that's where I'm at today. Is I realized that the weapon is what is going to allow me to do what I need to do for agents that I'm working with. Like, I lead through sales.
Yeah, you're leading your team actually selling still.
Correct.
Which is amazing.
And that was, I had to humble myself and go, you know what? Who cares how long you've been doing it, man? If your goal is to help more people and grow this thing, don't squander your opportunity. And don't be above it. Don't be like, well, I was not in the field for 4 years. I'm never going to do that again. Like, that just didn't sit well with me. I didn't act right away. I did have a little, ego that was playing on me. Like,
everybody does.
You know what I mean? Like, should you? And I was like, you know what? Screw that, dude. I had somebody DM me. Hey, Dom, your integrity partner. Why are you still selling insurance? And I said, why not? Do you know what I mean? And he goes, well, I thought you didn't have to. I was like, I don't have to. I choose to. Why? Because people still filling out forms. I'm still hiring new agents. I don't know how to do telesales. They all want to do telesales. I don't want to be the idiot that just goes, well, watch a video. Just watch a video. I needed to learn how to do this. I need at a high level too. So this year, my goal is minimum Hall of Fame. Minimum. All right. We're February, March, over 60 families help both months combined. I'm not doing 60. I will get up to 60K a month, but we're averaging about 30 plus a month. And what's cool is, dude, I still coach my son's T-ball team. I don't miss nothing. And that's what telesales allows you to do. If I was in the field, I couldn't coach my son's baseball team. I couldn't. Makes sense. Like, I'm there and still able to help 30 plus families a week and a month. And I wouldn't change it, dude. I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's legit. Yeah, dude, let's talk about that though. Like, you can do telesales and still have more extra time.
Yeah.
To spend with your family.
Yes. And say if you have an hour, right? You have an appointment at 5. Okay. Well, that appointment isn't requiring you to drive an hour and drive back an hour. It's a 5 o'clock appointment. And if I go, Erica, hey, I got a 5 o'clock. I'm gonna knock it out. It'll either be 15 minutes and I'm done, and I'm on and off.
It might be 30
It may
seconds.
be 5. It may be 30 seconds. It may be an hour. And that communication within your household, dude, it's positive.
Mm-hmm.
People know what you're doing. They know what the expectation is. You know, Saturday morning, sometime like from like 8 to 12, I'll go, hey, I'm running appointments from 8 to 12. After 12, day's ours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But just having that set, and telesales allows you to have those times to where the field, you got an hour before. You know, there's a lot of variables.
Okay, so the reason we want to talk about this is because how many people got burned out from the field, having to get leads in their area, having to drive to them. Now you can go statewide, multi-statewide, more leads, cheaper leads, more people to see, less time commitment. You can go part-time, you can go whatever.
Yeah.
But like, if someone is like, yo, I want to get back in, can they call you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing about it is there's no, whatever happened, dude. Makes sense? And I think one thing as you're transitioning, or if you're watching this and you're going, dude, I want to get into that telesales. It's okay. Like, you can't go always back and, well, this happened and this happened. Like, just move forward. And my biggest problem with getting telesales is that I would always hang on to my blankie. You know what I mean? I had to say, dude, screw that blanket, dude. Like, do this. People do it, you know, and just start doing it. So just if you are looking to get back into telesales or get back into the industry via telesales or virtual sales, be open to being a student again and don't rest on your laurels. I got that from Zach Twardowski. You hang out with some smart people, they drop words like that, and then you Google them, and then you go, wow, I'm going to add that to my repertoire. So that's the first time I dropped it and gave him credit like that. So Zach, that's all you, baby. But don't rest on your laurels. Create something new. All right? Learn something new. What you did 10 years ago, dude, nobody cares. What you did today, though, people care. People care what you did today.
And you care what you did today.
Dude.
Which is the most important.
Come on, man. And it feels great.
Yeah.
Feels great.
Feels good.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, dude. You're the man.
Thank
You're
you,
killing
man.
it. Anybody interested, call Dom. Reach out to him.
I got you guys.
Hit you up on Instagram.
Yeah, Dominique Rogers _ DOMONIQUE RODGERS _.
All right, my man. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, bro.